Good evening and welcome to Eswatini TV News at 8. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Linda Masugu and your sign language interpreter for tonight is Zamanzi Manze. Let's take a look at the news-making headlines. The Deputy Prime Minister Thulisile Dladla is urging stakeholders to make use of traditional structures in the fight against gender-based violence. Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs Prince Simelane says His Majesty's government is committed to ending HIV and AIDS by 2030. The Minister of Public Works and Transport, Chief Ndlahlaza Ndwandwe, has told Spofaneni to Stobela and Saliche to Hlatsi gravel roads. Well, let's get straight into the news and details. The Deputy Prime Minister Thulisile Dladla is urging stakeholders to make use of traditional structures in the fight against gender-based violence. The Deputy Prime Minister was speaking in Hlangano when launching the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence.
The Deputy Prime Minister's office is officially launching the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, which aims to stimulate efforts in the fight against GBV. The Deputy Prime Minister Thulisile Dladla says it is embarrassing to witness factions of males on social media platforms cheering acts of GBV.
I can bet you, our partners, the traditional structure would share with us brilliant ideas in ending this scourge. Why? Because they know each and every homestead in that community, and they know the behaviors of each and every man and woman, unfortunately. So let us make use of them. The peri-urban, as civil society, not that we'll ignore the rural areas, but let us create a structure that is firm, a structure that understands our identity, a structure that understands who we are. So all those things, let us promote them. Being a Eswatini doesn't mean we are backward. Instead, the world will respect you for who you are. As long as we adhere to our traditional norms and values, it is a must that more resources are invested in prevention of gender-based violence, because a life lost can never be regained. As much as more resources are needed, introspection is vital.
Leaders of human rights organizations are applauding government for taking a bold step towards combating GBV.
wafa esigamekweni sakhe sekuqala sekuhlukubeteka ukhanza ukuthi kusuke kwendeke emahlala uyinikeleke insaye ya liphindlandvunankulu emimangweni emasonfeni emabandleni kuthi vele lenzaba lena ikhulunyiswe.
Sikuthokodele ke lokho sithi inhlangano lamhla sajinga futhi saqinisekisa nathi kuweseka uhulumende ukuthi ngathi tonke indlela langethi imfundiso tonke netinhlelo tonke lesitendako utaba tinhlelo esitawuthi sabalalisa emimangweni kuze wonke umuntu losemimangweni athi usikhuluma ngekuhlubeteka sikhuluma ngani.
According to the United Nations, 1 in 3 girls under the age of 18 experiences sexual abuse in the country. The organization is urging government to further strengthen policies on human rights. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Thandokuhle Mdluli, Hlangano.
The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Prince Simelane, says His Majesty's government is committed to ending HIV and AIDS by 2030. The minister said this during the Hoho World AIDS Day commemoration, which was held at Killarney Stadium in Pikes Peak. The World AIDS Day is celebrated on the 1st of December globally.
The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs said in his tenure in office, he will ensure that laws to curb the spread of HIV and AIDS are passed and implemented. Present during the event was Hoho Regional Administrator Princess Sanzile, organizations involved in fight against HIV and AIDS, as well as town administrators.
Ending the AIDS epidemic by 2030 is not possible without addressing the needs of the communities. As a country, ending AIDS by 2030 is possible only if we let all communities to take the lead.
Princess Tsanzile said the HIV and AIDS pandemic has brought severe tragedies such as poverty, diseases, gender-based violence, orphans and vulnerables, among other tragedies in the whole region. She called for double efforts to fight eradicate HIV and AIDS.
As a region, we have seen a wide range of tragedies brought about by HIV and AIDS, including poverty, diseases, GBV, orphaned and vulnerable children. We worry a little that these tragedies could come back to haunt us if we don't redouble our efforts in fighting HIV.
Peace Peak Councillor Dr. Glory Msibi, speaking on behalf of the mayor, said they joined all United Member States who adopted a political declaration at the United Nations General Assembly high-level meeting in New York on ending AIDS by 2030. This year's event was commemorated under the theme, Let Eswatini Communities Lead in Ending AIDS. Reporting for Eswatini TV News is Bongos Magagula at Pittsburgh.
The Minister of Public Works and Transport, Chief Ndlaluhlaza Ndwandwe, has taught Spofaneni to Stobela and Salije to Hlatsi gravel roads. The minister says this is an initiative that seeks to ascertain the state of all gravel roads in the country.
Road rehabilitation was one of the concerns that was raised by Maswati during the People's Parliament. The Minister for Public Works and Transport, Chief Ndlaluhlaza Ndwandwe, has responded swiftly to the call by Maswati for ministers to go to the length and breadth of the country and see the state of the roads. The minister inspected the Stobela to Hlatsi gravel road.
Sidothi nase sikhulumisa uhulumende ukuthi lo mgwaqo so ulungele ukuthi utholelwe imali usetshenzwe ngibe ngiwadi ngalokuphatheka ukuthi uhamba kuphi nakuphi kwalo lesimo salo mgwaqo sibe usebenta ngekuwaya ngekuregravela kepha ngetimvula sidathi nje timvula kulamalanga ukuthi tinelaka kangakanani usheshe wonakale lona vele likhambila ukuthi ufakwe letiye.
Stobelweni Member of Parliament Mancoba Slongonyane extended his gratitude towards the ministry for the tour.
Sijabula kakhulu sisive sasithobelweni kwecala kusijabisako kubona indvuna ilandzela emagama lashiwe ingwenyama esibayeni ukuthi mayibeka nduna ukuthi agijima sinkwe esingakagadzi inyanga yesibili ngbe ngaba ayikapheli nayo singenile kodwa sesibona sovelwa tintulini wamnguni sovelwa tintulini esithobelweni.
The minister says having experienced what it is like to use the gravel road, the ministry will work hard to ensure that funds are available so to construct the road. Reporting, I am Tembelihle Makuchwa in the Lubombo region.
The University of Eswatini has the responsibility to help develop the agricultural sector, which will then create more job opportunities and grow the country's economy. These are sentiments of the University of Eswatini's Vice-Chancellor, Professor Justice Twala, who expressed them during a Memorandum of Understanding signing ceremony with 4 entities that will work collaboratively with the university in various target areas.
The 4 entities that have partnered with the university are Lomveshe Enterprise, which grows fruits, Eswatini Coffee, which grows and produces coffee, Litulo Agriculture, which is into environmentally friendly agricultural production and also trains the youth in agribusiness, as well as Ezulwini Municipality. As part of the areas of collaboration in the memorandum, the university will attach its students for internship in these entities and also help the entities in conducting research.
The major goal, therefore, of UNESWA is to prepare graduates to meet challenges faced by the various industries, to realize their full potential in terms of food production, creation of employment, especially in the rural areas, and an increased volume of fresh and processed agricultural products. The signing of these MOUs therefore cements the relationship between the University of Eswatini and industry, and also creates future potential employment for our graduates.
The representatives of the 4 entities expressed their thankfulness to the university for the Memorandum of Understanding, as their personnel will also benefit through training that will be delivered by the institution's experts. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Mbongwa Dube with Temba Shabangu, Luyengo.
The Royal Eswatini Police Services urges truck drivers to continue using the Malakwane cooling station near cabinet offices before descending the notorious Malakwane Hill. Vilagati said this following an accident in the morning where traffic came into a standstill after a heavy-duty truck carrying cardboard boxes spilled them on the roadway.
Royal Eswatini Police Services Chief Police Information and Communications Officer Superintendent Pindile Vilagati says most truck drivers continue to cool off their trucks at the Malakwane cooling station.
And we'll encourage them to continue doing so even if there's no police officer at the cooling station. We are aware of the situation at night, but even then we encourage them to drive very careful and continue maintaining a very good following distance, because in case one experiences some difficulties, it can affect the whole nation.
Mbabane Traffic Police Mavela Kama says the accident happened at Miamatin. He says there are no casualties. Meanwhile, an eyewitness, Begging Umalo, says the truck driver lost control of his motor vehicle while navigating Malakwane. He adds that somehow the driver managed to control the motor vehicle, but the cardboard boxes spill all over the road. Sibinzile Dlamini, who was driving a motor vehicle which was damaged during the accident, says while driving up Malakwane Hill, the cardboard boxes spill on the ascending lane and hit a motor vehicle. In an effort to lessen accidents along Malakwane, the Ministry of Public Works and Transport, in collaboration with the Royal Eswatini Police Services, put in place a cooling station for trucks. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with John Mololekeng, Malakwane.
2 men lost their lives when a wall occupied by motor mechanics at New Village collapsed. Chief Police Information and Communications Officer Superintendent Pindile Vilagati says there were 5 people inside the building when the tragedy occurred.
The tragic incident occurred on Friday afternoon. Police, emergency preparedness response, as well as the Eswatini National Fire and Emergency Services quickly attended the crime scene. The motor mechanics that operated New Village once operated near Manzini Central High School. Chief Police Information and Communications Officer Superintendent Pindile Vilagati says the building that they were operating in was still under construction. She says police investigations are still underway, adding that rescue teams are trying to find bodies that are trapped. Siboniso Ndwande, who survived when the wall collapsed, says he was saved by the pillar he was close to as it did not collapse, and he quickly ran out. On the other hand, Reginald Simelane, who is one of the people who came to the scene, says his son was also inside. He says they tried to rescue those who were trapped before calling for help from the rescue teams. This reporter was informed that one of those who died was a client who had come to fix his car. It was not established if the second person was also a client or not. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Pumlan Masuku, New Village.
Stay with us as we take a commercial break. We'll be back shortly after this.
What's that? Bring on even more big savings this SPAR Black Friday sale. Reward yourself with more prices you can't miss on even more products you love. Like 2-liter SPAR sunflower cooking oil for just $65.99 and 3 kg Sunlight hand washing powder for only $59.99. It's the SPAR Black Friday sale from 23 to 26 November, only at SPAR.
At OK, you can turn your bag into a bucky this festive season.
There's only one way to turn your bag into a bucky this festive season. Buy any participating product at OK and you could win a bucky loaded with groceries. OK, owners you can count on.
Welcome back. You're still watching Eswatini TV News at 8. Let's get on to this now. Financial advisor Terence Twala, popularly known as Mtera, urges Eswatini to be cautious on their expenditure when doing shopping during this Black Friday. Meanwhile, Chief Police Information and Communications Officer Superintendent P.D. Levlegati says no major accidents were reported from many parts of the country.
We want to take this opportunity to stress that because everyone is out there, it's Black Friday, it's buying, no one is forced to do as other people are doing. But before we do that, we just like to highlight that the salary for November is meant to take care of December expenses, and the December salary is meant to take care of January expenses. We have to recall January is the most important out of the three. We have Black Friday, we have Christmas, then we have school opening hours. So we have to ensure that when January comes, we are prepared and we haven't wasted our December money. So as we go out to spend, I pray that people are spending money that they have been investing from last year November to this year November, because we always have Black Friday in the last week of November. So people must prepare, must save towards this day so that they do not disturb the motion of the salary.
The Eswatini Anti-Venom Foundation received 10 cases of snake bites in just 2 days. According to a snake rescuer, Zakele Hlope, some of the victims are children. Hlope says Eswatini should ensure that grass is well maintained in homes to avoid snake bites incidents.
The Eswatini Anti-Venom Foundation has reported that they have seen an increase in black mamba activity in the last few days. A snake rescuer from the foundation, Zakele Hlope, says in just 2 days they received 13 cases of snake bite, which were reported in the Lubombo and Shiselweni region.
Lokwendekile ke kulamalanga cha sibonile tinombolo tebantu labalunywa tinyoka tiyakhuphuka bathi sekuthi kuleli viki sibe nebantu labangu-13.
Hlope says without wasting any time, Eswatini advised to visit the nearest hospital or health facility once they are bitten by a snake. Hlope says people should desist from drinking any herbal medicine and victims should be transported on their sides, not on their backs, although snake's venom varies from the snake. Hlope advises Eswatini to close windows and doors, especially at night, and ensure that they wear shoes when walking at night. Hlope says everyone is free to call 7602-5088 if they require assistance after snake bites. Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni with Fortune Dlangamandla in Babane.
Dear viewer, we apologize for the pictures there depicting some snakes. It may be sensitive to some viewers there. All right, let's move on to this now. Young people have raised concerns about health facilities that they are not youth-friendly, especially for young people who want to access family planning. According to the acting matron in the Manzini region, Samgelsiwa Mabuza, the maternal and infant health care provides young people with an opportunity to share their views. Mabuza says the project has also decreased cases of maternal deaths. Mabuza says most women visit health facilities from when they discover their pregnancies until they give birth. Mabuza was speaking during the closing section of the health promotion phase of the project held in Zombote.
The Ministry of Health, in collaboration with Taiwan, continues to strengthen the capacity of maternal and child health in health facilities within the country. Speaking in a closed session of the health promotion activity, the acting matron in the Manzini region, Samgelsiwa Mabuza, says improving maternal and child health is one of the key objectives of the National Development Strategy. Mabuza says these projects gave an opportunity for young people to share their views as well.
baveda ngekwehlukana kwabo kokuthi imtholampilo ikhashana.
While we were here, we had a panelist where young people shared their views on SRH programs. They raised concerns that our clinics are not youth-friendly. Since the implementation of this project, numbers of maternal deaths have decreased drastically. Through this project, Eswatini have learned more about the importance of information on maternal and child health, such as antenatal care and family planning.
The Taiwan Technical Missions Project Manager, Amon Yang, says the awareness aspect of the project will continue.
For the maternal and infant health care improvement project, yes, we donate a lot of equipment to the facility and we provide a training because it's very important. The health personnel, they need to know how to use the equipment. And we also train the facilitator. So even because the project will be finished by the end of this year, so after the project, the Ministry of Health still have a facilitator to train more users and provide a qualified service to the pregnancy women and the children.
The Taiwan Technical Mission and the Ministry of Health started to implement this project in 2016. Every year, 20,000 pregnant women benefit on this project. The Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni, Themba Shabangu, Zombodze.
Eswatini Chefs Association President Sihle Hlatswayo says about 80% of Eswatini chefs are not qualified. Hlatswayo said this during Eswatini Chefs Inda, where wide-ranging issues were discussed, including challenges faced by this sector.
Chefs Inda is attended by seasoned chefs and hospitality students from different tertiaries in the country, like Limpopo University of Creative Technology. Eswatini Chefs Association President Sihle Hlatswayo elaborates.
As chefs in Eswatini, the challenges that we face currently are that our chefs, so mostly 80% of them are unskilled or semi-skilled. So we want to change that. We are starting with various stakeholders and we're discussing how we can do grade tests and trade tests for chefs so that they can have a qualification to their name.
Some of the chefs that attended the Chefs Inda say they benefited a lot.
Even in class, you'll gain some more information on what they've been saying.
To let ingane ziyazi ukuthi there's a future in culinary. Babone ukuthi if they work hard and they apply themselves, in a few years they'll be somewhere with the industry. This industry is not going to die anytime soon.
Yes. What transpired during the Indaba is that tourists enjoy indigenous dishes, so it is for that reason that it is important for the country to have qualified chefs in order to attract more tourists. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Kwinpendulo Kumbe Zulwini.
Now let's take a look at some of the stories making headlines around the world. The first group of Israelites has been released under a truce brokered between Israel and Hamas that brought a temporary halt to fighting in Gaza after weeks of conflict. The Israel's Defense Force confirmed the hostages had returned to Israel, where they have undergone initial medical assessment. The Red Cross, which transported the detainees today from Gaza to the Rafah border with Egypt, said 24 hostages have been released. The group includes 13 Israelites, according to the Qatari Foreign Ministry, which helped broker the agreement between Israel and Hamas. 10 Thai citizens and 1 Filipino citizen have also been freed under a separate agreement. Israel is due to release 39 Palestinian prisoners later today. Let's take a look at the financial indicators.
It can be.
In your sports news, Mula Sport Eswatini has handed over a sponsorship launch to Eswatini Basketball Association worth 120,000 Malangeni to be used in a tournament for both men and women. Eswatini Sports Council Chief Executive Officer Darius Lomo mentioned that it was high time basketball gained international appearance.
Mula Sports Eswatini has handed over a sponsorship launch to Eswatini Basketball Association that is worth 120,000 Emarangeni to be used in a tournament that will be for both men and women. Eswatini Sports and Recreation Council Chief Executive Officer Darius Lomo mentioned that it was high time basketball gained international appearance.
We will be going to the All Africa Games very soon in March. You will see the difference in terms of the composition. I can assure you this is an opportunity for basketball.
Petsile Kulu from Mula Sports says this is their way of giving back to the community.
And we saw that there's a lot of young people who are interested in basketball, which is very good for us as an organization.
Eswatini Basketball Association is full of praise after the sponsorship.
Sifuna kungena kuwo wonke imithombo yelive lakithi. We have looked at specific areas la khona sibuka kusema facilities akanjani. I-basketball ayidlalwe kahlathi, entangano, elibonjeni kahoho, sibe khona nalamanye amathalenta lesiwahanesako lapho.
In the past, sponsorship was a serious concern for the association, but such kind gesture would contribute immensely to the development of the sport. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Lobamba.
All right, that's how we reach the end of tonight's bulletin. But before we leave you, here's a reminder of the news-making headlines. The Deputy Prime Minister Thulisile Dladla is urging stakeholders to make use of traditional structures in the fight against gender-based violence. Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs Prince Simelane says His Majesty's government is committed to ending HIV and AIDS by 2030. The Minister of Public Works and Transport, Chief Ndlahlaza Ndwandwe, has told Spofaneni to Stobela and Saliche to Hlatsi gravel roads. Well, that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the weather forecast. From all of us here as the Eswatini TV News team, it's good night.
What's that? Bring on even more big savings this SPAR Black Friday sale. Reward yourself with more prices you can't miss on even more products you love. Like 6-pack SPAR Long Life Milk for just $84.99 and 1 liter liquid fruit. Buy any two for only 40 emalangeni. It's the